come back with this command and conquer. He's at 26 life to Sean's 14.
And once again, he's holding a dead all you got right after he opts from the Fate Foreseen. We saw this happen in his game against Michael Yasker. If Sean Dollywall sends a Starfall, Max Diekmann will know exactly what he's drawing from the that all you got.
And once again, Max Diekmann saying, I've played this matchup plenty. I know what I'm doing. Is that all you got?
And now Sean Dollywall once again, is he going to send that last card offensively, or is he going to put it in his arsenal only for it to be threatened by the Command and Conquer from Max Diekmann?
Well, what can I do for you?
Definitely wants to end with an embodiment of lightning because of the exude confidence that was revealed off the Ravenous Rabble.
Now here comes the Arcanic Shockwave. Just me coming in for 4. Sean foregoing the Arsenal. Just throw some pressure down in the Rage Spectre here. You go ahead and get in front for the block. Wonder if that means Max knows he's going to draw the blue to go alongside his Command and Conquer. And this was not guaranteed for Max that the Starfall comes in, but he is aware of this matchup, aware of how this game has gone in the past, and he read Sean Dollywall like a book.
And seeing the Snapdragon Scalers being popped there, Max Diekmann must be really, really happy about that. Essence of Ancestry Body was the draw from the That All You Got. Opted there from the Fate Foreseen. Goes ahead and resolves it. No other Illusionist auras on the field at the moment, so its tech will be live when it leaves the battlefield.
You can see why he left that one on top, why he was fine to block with the blue. He's got Essence of Ancestry Body on the board. He's got the Command and Conquer in his arsenal. He's set up for this turn, he's set up for next turn. He's got good defense, it'll lead into good offense, Destruction stapled onto it, and the Armor Suite is significantly less powerful, less exciting for Sean Dollywall here. No Crown of Providence and no Snapdragon Scalers. What is going to be the way Sean Dollywall wants to try to get through this turn? Max Diekmann is in a very, very good position.
We saw Sean Dollywall's teammate Michael Yasko struggle quite a bit against the Essence of Ancestry Body that Max Diekmann was able to establish in their game. Will Sean Dollywall meet a similar fate, or will he be able to navigate his way around this card?
Yes. And Lightning Strike here, this is just going to be 7 to go again.
Which telegraphs to Max Diekmann that Sean Dollywall either is going to convert his entire hand or already has a card he's added to Arsenal.
You're in Max's spot. What do you think he's expecting? What do you think he's going to be thinking about? Do you want to protect the Essence of Ancestry to let it go?
I think the read is that Sean Dollywall has found a way to not give Max full value from the Essence of Ancestry Body. Send a massive attack on the first chain link, might even have a lightning strike to back it up, which will clear the Essence of Ancestry and just Starfall afterwards. That is not a red sword. That will not be prevented by the Essence of Ancestry Body's effect.
He's trying to kind of keep all the damage on this chain link. Make this Essence of Ancestry Body anything but impressive. There's the Lightning Press pocket. So tough though.
We can cover up by Max capacity. Oh, we know it's Command and Conquer in his arsenal, but not having open for the camera yet. Found the way to battle against Essence of Ancestry. Not going to give Max some extra value from his effect. 2 damage is over after a Lightning Press. Essence of Ancestry Body has this life. Sean Dollywall is not going to send another red card after this. But will end with an Arsenal. Not successful this one. This time, Sean is going to establish the Arsenal. Actually, will be able to punish it because of the lack of armor on Sean Dollywall.
An Arsenal here. Up, 3 goes to 2. Blue is pitched. Command and Conquer comes down. Restless Coalescence. Most likely definitely for the Arsenal for Max Diekmann. That's another nice piece. Once again, set up for this turn, set up for next turn. We have 3 blocks.
Last time it's all to play for Max Diekmann. Sean Dollywall did have the 3 balls blocked. I guess that's really good. If I was a lightning card at that time,
We don't know what remains in the hand for Sean. We know there was, or what remains in the arsenal, excuse me, for Sean. We know there was when the key strike was played, but we don't know what was bottom and what was grabbed off the top. That arsenal card, it could be the confidence, it could be get over the top of that game. It's awkward for Sean if he gives those 2 3 blocks here. All of a sudden, he can't do anything without Flying Lightning. Even if you keep all of the cards in the end, the arsenal, the Flying Lightning gets go again, and then
well, that's live. also has the Restless Coalescence in his arsenal, and he's not a natural mirror guy.
Yep.
Oh. Not quite.
Why?
Doesn't have another blue. He can't flip the path while travel unless he plays another one.
Yeah.
He plays it first. Just close.
Almost. He could play it and then transcend, but then it would still only have the 2 counters. So it was natural in that, yes, you get to transcend on the turn. Which is necessary for the card that gets extra counters. Press. Link was cut these Aurora a long time ago. These are open deck lists. Max knows there's no copy. That the Link Arya and Jessica.
Because with Switch, really solid on play like it. He kept the honor of the snatch because of the lightning press. And with the lightning press play, if you draw a yellow or a blue, it's while the snatch behind him is represents that color because of now this card will unlikely.
Sean, watch out the commanding conquer. But in the end, it doesn't matter. As the snatch is going to hit to the graveyard, keeps the card in arsenal. Don't want to just say that's, you know, a death blow as the manifestation mirror guy comes out with a Restless Coalescence in the arsenal. This turn, how strong not as impressive as something like Plasma Plasma or something that really punished the way that John Dollywell played that last turn. But that is not what you want to do.
That is one of the drawbacks on this 12 defense. John Dollywell is very nice. Walking out and he realizes it's not his spot. And he's asking the Amoeba opponent, can you convert the 5-5 man when the deck is full of 12 storms, Synchros, that all results, all these cards can up together. See what happens when actually the person heads to the big cell. Counters off the manifestation of America. Now that card is has Ward 0, that could be damage. Or with the promise of one more
Pressure on. He just wants to get damage across and further attacks. Begin to really threaten John Dollywell's life total. Pressure can come in and attack as well. On out, we're to 7. You're describing no ward on the manifestations. It's just hanging out. Max Deep, you're going to pass over manifestation mirror guy in the arsenal as well?
Yes. Now that's a baby mirror guy, the one with 0.
Oh, that would be definitively considered. First attack for Max Deepman. Grab and travel. The reveal on the top is the sizzle. Metamorph. Run, grab and drop. Shield ass back up.
And full of all. Possibly the manifestation was with an offensive choice, had the option to Arsenal of Mythos and keep the team counter up. Instead, went for an Arsenal that driving that was any question about the success.
A lot of damage already represented for John Dollywell. Here's 4, and here's 4. A lot more damage coming with the Skyward Serenade as the Restless Coalescence is going to be activated and another Spectral Shield is going to be created. There's the Skyward Serenade as Aurora sings her new song. She's chanted, she's singing, she's singing as the attack comes ripping out of the deck, the advantage stone to be played right here on the combat chain.
Two modes. Popular ones. First semifinals of World Cup. He wants to try and keep the rest of his hand, if possible, to send the Phantasmaplasm. When the opponent is at 7 and only has 2 points of armor remaining, it's going to be a little bit of disruption in terms of some of the opponent's hand and bottoming the best card, and also presenting lethal to Sean Dollywall.
Taking 2 after the Restless Coalescence. Down to 15 goes Max. 2 cards left for Sean. Tunic here not on 3, so the Starfall can't join the party without a card being pitched. The card is in fact going to be pitched here. It is the current funnel. It's going into the Starfall.
Once again, Sam, the story of the PCG Invasion Auroras against Max Diekmann's Enigma. We haven't seen a Channel Lightning Valley being effectively resolved. Didn't see that in Michael Yaster's game. Not seen that again in Sean Dollywall's game either. Passes over to Max Diekmann with a 6-point life deficient. Max Diekmann has a Phantasmaplasm and positions an Urga in his arsenal.
Phantasmaplasm here going to be played. 9 damage on the combat chain.
What's
Lightning Valley once again. You can take away a blocking card here and put Sean Dollywall into an incredibly uncomfortable position. What's the take if you're in the Enigma scene?
Don't worry, sorry.
shot looks to be a pretty good take. You can just leave the opponent with the CLV, especially when you know it's there. Leaving them with 2-3 boxing attacks, so when they have it, like they might want to somersault is exactly where you want to come. But of course, they could draw another free block attack action, in which case they get a full value from somersault. Somersault can be the one to take that away. No way you get 6 block from that one card. Just take it away.
Scar for a scar.
Remember, this is lethal, folks. Lethal being presented on the stack. Chondolo has to give a card. The armor he has left remaining will not cut it.
Scar for scar, very alive. Maintaining that good spirit we've seen since before the decks were even presented.
Now the off lessons from the opponent knows is there. Chondolo, however, has not used his arsenal in a very long time.
I know, I checked the deck list to see if they brought Sigil of Suffering into the tournament. They do, of course, have that incredibly powerful defense reaction.
Could be a Flicker Wisp. You have to imagine maybe he's just parked that in Arsenal, hoping to draw the other half of the combo in the form of Arc Lightning.
They are on the full 3 copies. Some Auroras have gone down to 2, some even as low as 1.
And Flicker Wisp, not only is it good to just clear ward pieces on the Enigma side, also can be a way to ensure that the Channel Lightning Valley hits. Or you get the draw off of Channel Lightning Valley, rather.
Dollywall lining up a block with the blue Heaven's Claws, surveying the board, looking across the table. He blocks just 3. He goes down to 1. And that's going to be the call. Sean Dollywall heads down to 1 to try to mount the offensive salvo that he believes will be able to keep him fighting and put him in a Pro Tour Finals.
Embodiment of Lightning is on the field, and looks like it is the Flicker Wisp in Arsenal. You can fuse that with the Channel Lightning Valley and then respond to it, playing the Channel Lightning Valley, so that when the Flicker Wisp deals its damage, you will draw a card off of it.
Does Max find an instant piece of ward effect? He has the manifestations in his arsenal. He can just play that with a blue. That's ward 2 here. That would shore up this Flicker Wisp.
Priority over to Max Diekmann. Is he going to respond? Is he just going to let the card draw happen? Sean Dollywall, with the block of the Heaven's Claws, no longer has another lightning card in that hand. Does want to try and find one to go into the pitch zone to keep this CLV around.
But Max is just going to take this down to 11. He goes, he sees his opponent at 1, and he once again smells the blood in the water. What's the card off the top for Sean? He takes a moment, he puts it into his hand. It is a lightning card. It is a sizzle. And what will he be able to do with it?
Could send that to the pitch zone to keep the CLV around, or do you want to convert it to 3 value on this turn? Would you be able to survive another turn of the CLV?
Flicker was zapping my brain there, making me see the wrong card. Too much lightning for Sean Dollywall, but he is down at 1. A single point of damage is all it takes. There's another Phantasmaclasm and 3 cards that do not block for Max Diekman. Quick dodge flexors might be an interesting option on the turn.
You know what else that is? That's a natural transcend into the Manifestations of Mirka in his arsenal. If Max Diekman survives this turn, we might see for the second time this game a Manifestations of Mirka hit the board with 4 counters on it.
Does Sean Dollywall have enough damage to even force Max to do anything? He's got a Sizzle.
He's got Scar for Scar and a Static Shock.
So what is that? A total of 7 plus 4.
Plus 1.
So yes, Max Diekman does have to put at least the quick dodge flexors and a blue in front of this. With the Static Shock having a potentially live on hit effect as well, but Channel Lightning Valley here,
Yes.
it's already drawn its card. There's no recourse. There's a Tunic for the Starfall as well. The quick dodge flexors can get right in front of that. Scar for Scar going to be the play. 4 with Go again. Sean here saying he's pretty sure he's lower in life than Max.
And now that was the unknown card in Sean Dollywall's hand. Now Max Diekman knows fully the contents of Sean Dollywall's hand and will be able to math out the remaining damage that's being presented.
Once he sees that Sizzle. First, it's going to be the Tunic into the Starfall.
Correction, Scar for Scar was already in the hand. The Sizzle was the draw of the top. That is the card Max Diekman has not seen.
Max Diekman saying, you got to make me care, brother. I'm taking the 2 until I have to block. I'm not gonna.
And at this point, Sean Dollywall has represented, because he used the Tunic to send the Starfall, he is not caring about getting a Lightning card in the pitch zone. He needs to just try and pressure Max Diekman's life total as much as possible. Static Shock coming into 7 on
Let's
hit,
be on
1
our
more
way.
damage.
Max Diekman here falling down to 5, using the life as a resource. It's going to be a double transcend, homage to Ancestors to gain a life, and to give the Static Shock -1, 2 incredibly important pieces of value from those transcend cards.
Sorry.
Lethal still being presented by the Static Shock despite those 2 cards.
Now, however, he can now activate the quick dodge flexors if he wishes. Put the Tunic in front of this. And he has a Phantasmaclasm in that hand as well.
Even just commit that to the blocks. Go ahead and solve more of that with the hit. The aggro of the last G is bad as well.
Deal. Bit of a thing for Max Diekman. Could have done that. Position. Look down. Maybe a bit of overkill for Sean. You see that as a defending card here. You have to wonder what comes next.
You know your opponent is holding 2 Chi as well. Sean Dollywall cannot be happy to see that. And we mentioned the Channel Lightning Valley. We saw that finally hit the field, but not going to be keeping itself around. It's just going to be... It just replace itself on this turn. Static Shock, of course, dealing 1 extra point of Arcane because of the Flicker Wisp. Max Diekman goes all the way down to 1. Enigma going to be activated first.
Spectre Shield comes in with a +1 counter. Comes in for 2. Go again. Sean Dollywall has to work with. Has found
Bernard Strong is able to just second reward. Cover that up. Might just be the end of the road for a second. Player in the top lane, over 100.
both pieces of equipment have to get through the Spectral Shield. Sean Dollywall wanting to see what comes next.
And when your Enigma opponent doesn't push the second Chi on your own turn, you know they are planning to activate Enigma twice. They have different plans for that Chi, and you saw them block it with the Phantasmaclasm as well. Riding on the wall for Sean Dollywall. Second time this game, Manifestations of Mirka comes down with 4 counters on it.
He's going to get the swing in here for that full 8 damage. Max Max has now swung with his full 8-power mana taking Mirror Guy twice. And we know what is the end to that equation. Sean Dollywall is going to have to lay down the whole blocking hand.
Just has one card remaining, which will be a Lightning Quest. Because that card does not block, will only be able to convert that to 1 damage from the Starfall. And the Shield of the Field will just cover that up.
Or the Tunic. Or even the other pieces of equipment for Max. Folks, are we looking at our first Pro Tour London final? Max, the German expat, has become the Spanish national champion, trying to become champion in 2 countries in the EU. He's got his eyes set on the ultimate prize here in London. Lockout station. Max, see a little shrug. Fine by me. He's got 1 card left. I've got a Spectral Shield. I've got my Dragon. Is that all you got, Sean?
And the 2 floating there, that Sean Dollywall couldn't even go for a Hail Mary, burn up off the final pressure. The Max is taking that arm. Max giving the same detail without even pitching a single card from his hand. 2 go again from the Spectral Shield.
By a block with the snatch. It's laid forward. Manifestations also gets to attack. Let's go again. That's 8 more damage. It buys the rest of the cards here from Sean Dollywall. And after the activation of Enigma, that is gonna do it. Your first Pro Tour London finalist, Max Diekmann, slayer of Aurora, slayer of the PCG Invasion team. He moves on to the Pro Tour London finals.
For the 2nd time in the top 8, the grudge match went the way of the person not the revenger, the revengee, if you will. Pablo Pintor of getting his victory in the game against Pierre, and in this game, Max Diekmann taking his victory again.
Now looking ahead, now Max Diekmann potentially gets to move ahead into the finals against Pablo Pintor, and he can take care of his semifinal match. A couple people who I think were 1st and 2nd at the Spanish National Championships relatively recently. Diekmann the Pro Tour in London. Let's take a look back at some of the hottest moments in that game as we have our first Pro Tour London finalist, folks. Max Diekmann here with the That All You Got, and Arc Lightning, the last card in the hand after this Light Strike is going to go ahead and come through with That All You Got once again. Just reading Sean Dollywall and getting 2 perfect uses out of that impressive defense reaction.
So yeah, the manifestation of Murgai as well came down. Go ahead and just swing again and again.
Move ahead, of course, as we just see scenes from this one. An incredibly impressive display from Max Diekmann. All of the ward on the board throughout this one. Sean Dollywall fighting desperately, got his opponent all the way down to 1 at the end there, but was unable to close it out. You can see that Channel Lightning Valley in the 6. You can see all of the ward that Max Diekmann was able to preserve throughout the Arc Lightning on this turn, but it all didn't matter in the end. The Channel Lightning Valleys were just not impressive in either of the games played by the players from Team Invasion.
And shout out to Sean Dollywall. He had his back against the wall that entire game, tried to duke it out, got his opponent 2-1. Unfortunately, was just not quite enough against the flurry of Illusionist auras being deployed by Enigma, Ledger of Ancestry.
Just so wonderful to see throughout this game the players here as the electromagnetic somersault was taken. A number of laughs, a number of smiles. The most intense, highest stakes game played in either of these players' careers, and they had the right attitude all the way through to the bitter end. Spectral Shield coming across 2 with Go again, and this is when it all finished for Max Diekmann, and he punched his ticket cool as a cucumber, stone-faced in the face of victory or defeat, and he is your victor in this round.
And the
What an
Murgai,
impressive game.
the Murgai takes the rest of Sean Dollywall's hand as he extends the fist bump. Max Diekmann, your first finalist at World Tour London, the biggest Pro Tour to date in Flesh and Blood history.
And he is one of the only 2 potential competitors that will be able to take down this tournament. What a game from Max Diekmann, and now the question is, will he have an Aurora rematch, or will he face down Pablo Pintor in his 2nd Pro Tour finals? Let's look at what's on the line in those finals, as well as what these players have already won. Max Diekmann, by winning that game, has put himself in that 3rd to 4th bracket to the 2nd place bracket, a difference of $10,000 US, Pankaj.
And on the other side of the semifinals as well, 10,000 USD to both these other semifinalists, and then our finals will be playing for 30,000 USD because, of course, the winner of World Tour London gets 50,000 US dollars.
What? How insane is that? These players have so much on the line. It's gonna be an incredible rest of the day, folks. We have a Pro Tour champion coming up in the semifinals. He's already won one of these. Can he win another? That is the question on everybody's mind. Pablo Pintor won one of the greatest games of Flesh and Blood ever captured on coverage in the quarterfinals. Does he have a date with destiny in the finals? Max Diekmann, Sean Dhaliwal, the competitors during this semifinals. And after a hard-fought game back and forth, it was the ex-Spanish national champion who was able to take down the challenger. Max Diekmann moves on to the finals, next semifinal, right after this.
We have our first finalist at Pro Tour London, one more finalist to be determined. And Hayden, if this match is anything like that last one, I mean, this might be it for me. I don't know if my heart can actually take this. I'm a bit old, I'm long in the tooth, and you put this kind of stress in front of me, I just might have to wrap it up. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to believe that Pablo Pintor may be ordained to win this tournament, but there's a really big obstacle in his way. Paul von Heysel played beautifully. Like I said, I thought he played a game in his quarterfinal match worthy of the all-time greats. It's only fitting that he has to take on an all-time great to go ahead and realize his dream.
Yeah. Pablo looking to put on a spectacle for us again, I'm sure. But Paul's going to have something to say about it, to ruin this fairy tale, to ruin an all Spanish finals potentially. And we saw Paul in that game really show his mettle, show his patience and what he's about. And he's up against another illusionist here.
Yeah, and I think Paul does have something to say about it. And we have a couple interviews, I believe, from our players. Why don't we go ahead and throw to that now and hear from the players themselves.
Here with Paul von Heysel after your quarterfinal match up against that Prism. How are you feeling post that game, Paul?
Well, I feel amazing. I didn't expect to win that one, to be honest. It was nerve-wracking, but well, I did it, so I'm happy.
Yeah, and we saw your family in the chat back at home rooting for you, all your friends and family. How does that, it must make you feel very special.
Yeah, well, I'm blessed to have such a great family. Wow, and yeah, I heard they supported me in chat. Yeah, that's great.
A really interesting match there in that quarterfinals. I was calling you patient, Paul, because you just held off, blocking out, using your lightning press initially defensively, waiting, and then down at about 6 life there, you decided to turn the corner on Andrew. Just talk to me a bit about that decision and how you came to that, how you stayed so patient and then found that point to sort of turn the corner and make a move.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because it's any Herald is an extra 4 life for Prism, so you don't want him to hit, but you also don't want to block since you want to deal damage. So I thought you have to find the right moment where you can push enough damage for them to block you out. And once they start blocking, you can just keep the tempo and take over. And I felt like I shouldn't have played that lightning press on the Herald, since I then wouldn't have enough life to take the hit and attack back. I counted in my hand. I was like, I think I have enough attack to maybe get him to block, and in the end it worked out, so I'm happy.
Was there a moment where you thought, yeah, I've got this game? Like when you then played that lightning press, because you didn't play it on the first chain link, you played it on the second chain link, pushed over. Was that the moment you thought that, yeah, I'm about to hit the semifinals?
Yeah, when I saw my opponent's body language a bit going down, I was like, okay, I might have a shot. And then when he blocked with, I think it was the chess piece, I was like, yeah, this game's probably over. So yeah, felt really good.
And Paul, you've taken down the #1 seed here at Pro Tour London and Andrew Cook, but next up in your way is Pablo Pintor, a name that many people will be familiar with. How are you feeling heading into this next match up against Enigma?
I mean, Pablo Pintor is a really scary